Welcome to The Author Next Door, where hosts Angela Haas and Cassie Newell chat about the wild world of writing and publishing. Join them for weekly episodes and special monthly guests. Pull up a chair. The conversation starts now.
Welcome to episode 49. I'm Cassie Newell, and I'm here with my co-host, Angela Haas. And this month, we're doing a bit of reflecting on the year as we ready ourselves for what's to come. Today, we're going to discuss what we've learned from the past year, our personal highs and lows as authors, and whether or not we met our goals. It's kind of going to be a tough one.
Do we talk about it?
Yeah. Do we hit the lows first and end on the highs?
Well, can you believe it though?
A year
We
has
were
come by.
just at this time last year really working hard to start the podcast and like going through all this stuff. And I know we've talked about this before, but it does hit me how I think we're in our stride and we've got so much figuring out, but there was so much to figure out. And that's
So
like the
much
first
between
lesson.
software, timing, and we were still
Yeah.
planning out our processes, right? We knew our name.
Right.
We knew the fun stuff.
We had the name. Woo! We had the
And
name.
then we were
That's
like,
about it.
how do we package this? What, all the things.
Yeah.
So, and we started with one company. And then we had to make a big switch. And that was crazy town. I think that tested our fortitude.
Yes. Well,
right?
and I think it was the first learning lesson because, and I've learned this with other things too.
Right.
Read the fine print, people, on any software you're buying, any pricing structure, do the, onboarding, go to the webinar, just like before you decide, because I've gotten in trouble too buying software that was so new and it just didn't deliver what it promised yet. That can happen in any capacity as an author, but I think that was the first lesson we learned. But I think you have to go through that. I mean, if you
do we have to? Well, we did.
Okay.
But
we are here. This is what we're here for, folks, is to serve as a warning for others. Okay.
To serve
I think
as a
that's like the tagline of the podcast, at least for me. But we figured it out though. I mean, I think a lot of people, just like anything, right? A lot of people start writing a book and then they don't, for whatever reason, pass through the gates of publishing it. A lot of people start podcasts and they get 3 months in and realize I can't do this. And then they stop. And I feel like for us, what a feeling to push through the highs and lows of creating a podcast. And we're here and we're going to have an amazing 2026 with it. It's really grown. It's been an amazing ride with you. And I'm excited for what's coming. So that was, I think, just the first thing I was reflecting on, like, wow, how fast.
Yeah, it moved
right?
so fast. It moved so fast. When we started, I was just kicking off a new pen name.
Mm-hmm.
You had just published your first romance. Now it's crazy when we think about where we are today, which is I will have my 6th book in a couple weeks, or actually the week of this. You've already had 2 romances out in 1 year. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, we did that. How did we do that?
I don't know. Magic dust?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, how did you do that? Because you have a day job that is so consuming too. You're not
Lately
writing
it is.
full time.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there was some flexible times, but it's not like you just sort of saunter around without a schedule. You're working a lot.
Yeah.
And how did you do that? Like, tell people.
Well, I think it's easy now because me and my husband, it's just us and the animals, which it's easy. Like dinner is like, do we need to go out or can we just piddle? like make little tapas or whatever, like we don't have to make big meals where I felt required to do that with children. Like you want to make sure they're
Oh,
eating
yeah.
their vegetables and all the
Mhm,
things.
mhm.
Like my husband and I, we can cook steak or chicken and eat it for 3 days. Because it's
Yeah.
just the two of us, right? So it's a little
I'm
different.
sorry. I made chicken fingers and, um,
Hey, we
potato
have
salad
those
from
too.
Whole Foods the other night. Okay.
Yeah, we do that too. I'm not, I mean, I just made mac and cheese with turkey and peas.
Yeah.
So, that's
Hey,
like, that's
who
what,
cares?
yeah. So I think my responsibilities are a little different now um, from that perspective. And I just always carve out time. So I may not have a lot of TV time or sitting down time, and I tend to be more of a weekend warrior anyway, because my brain is just kaput by the end of the day. Like,
Mhm.
even at work, it's like, don't ask me fresh ideas or to manage certain things because I'm tapped out. So for me, it's usually Saturdays and Sundays where I will put in 2 to 3 hours and feel really accomplished, where somebody might put in an hour a day. For me, I've done 6. And sometimes I've written an entire short story or drafted it. It's really skeleton-y draft, not not
Mhm.
fully fleshed out in a weekend. I've done that before. And I also know I'm not as productive in the winter.
Mm.
I'm much more productive in the summer. And so when the 4 books that came out for me in January, February, March, April, all of those were written last summer, the summer before.
Yeah.
So, um, it may look like, "Oh my god, what is she doing?" Well, I wrote them,
Right.
months ago, and they were edited months ago. Lately, I've been catching up with my edits, which hasn't felt really great. It hasn't been as comfortable. So, I've definitely planned a little reprieve for myself going into next year, but, yeah, and then I had some pivots this year, like big pivots to my plan. So, yeah, that's how I do it. I just kind of fit it in where it fits for me. And
Mhm.
I've become an early riser, not that I want to be, but it's just kind of
Ugh.
happened that way. But yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
it just kind of works right now. But I'm in a different stage of life. I don't have to care for really young kids and they don't require all my time. And even my animals, they can be pretty needy, but
Oh, yeah.
they'll come up here with me, and when I
Mhm.
need a break, I take a break and yeah,
Yeah. Well, we both moved this
yeah.
year.
My God.
That's
What?
why.
Really? Like, I know. And you built a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. Built a house, moved into that house, and that's why for anyone seeing the online version, there's just this kind of half empty bedroom behind me. Yeah. And I think what it proves to me is that I can still get stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
There was a time when I thought I can only write or produce when the conditions are perfect,
Yeah.
when I don't have much. And I thought that I would actually have so much more time once my stepsons were grown and flown. But you move into a different stage. And yes, I actually have, it's more bandwidth and creative energy, but I
Mhm.
don't know that I have more time
Yeah.
because when they were in the house and teenagers, you're just married to their calendar, which I enjoyed. You're always
Yeah.
planning the next thing and football games and activities. And I got to get their pants washed and a tie for Friday. And then
Yeah.
dinner at 8 o'clock at night after practice. So, when that was all going on, I didn't write or produce anything because I didn't have any creative bandwidth. Now I have the bandwidth, which and that my creative brain is always churning even when I'm not writing. So that's how I'm able to get stuff done. But I don't know if this pertains, but anyone listening, just start because the conditions are never going to be
Yeah.
totally right for you to
Right. Well,
start your career.
and one step leads to the next step. and leads to
Yeah.
the next step. And here we are going, we took a step in January.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
where we are today.
Yeah.
That's how it always works. And I'm always amazed at people that are like, really comparativitis to someone else who take me for example. Okay, 7 books. They're all short stories, by the way. They were
Mhm.
all written way ahead of their production schedule. So it's like, no, you can't compare that,
Right.
unless you compare me to last summer and then releasing, doing the
Yeah.
editing, the drafting, all the things, and then do that. Like, you just can't. What you see on the surface level is not the contents of the inside of all the things that took place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I was even like, well, why am I not getting stuff done as fast as you? And I'm like, oh, because I'm writing 90K books.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Exactly. Like the
You
4
know, you
books I
can't.
wrote is 1 novel.
Right.
Yeah. And the 3
So,
books for Holiday Matchmaker, 1 novel. Like,
yeah.
you can't they're apples and oranges. They're so
Yeah.
different. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't compare them. So,
Yeah.
actually, we equal,
Right.
in terms and and I think it's fine too that people I mean, back in the day when I was reading, specific series, it was 1 a year. Like, you were lucky to
Yeah.
get 1 book a year. Now we're greedy.
I
We want
know.
multiple books a year. So I just think, do what works for you. And neither one of us are full time writing. So I think too, when you are even full time writing, I look at those schedules and they're not that different than ours. They're producing maybe 3 a year. Most
Yeah.
most you'll see 2. Like,
Right.
or they haven't had anything for a year and they've done all this production and then
Right.
they look like they're rapid releasing. Well, they
Right.
are rapid releasings, but it's not as if they just wrote them. So I
Yeah.
think you just have to, yeah. I think production schedule versus writing schedules are 2 different topics.
2 different topics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just have to find your lane and go with what works for you. I
Right.
have to write at the same time every night, and I really hold myself to those office hours or what I call it.
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes if life is getting in the way, you have to carve out, I can write 30 minutes tomorrow morning. I can do it in the
Right.
afternoon after group, my my writing group or whatever. You're just going to have to carve out, but I think if you're willing to dedicate some time and energy to it, you can do it. You
Yeah.
can start your writing, publish that book, launch a podcast. It's amazing what we what we can do
Yeah.
when we commit to something, because I'm always
Oh,
like, "Man, I can't
absolutely.
do this." And then I'm like, "Yes, you can. You can do it."
Yeah, you
You
can
know?
totally do it. So let's talk about what has thrown you for a loop this year. What didn't quite go to plan? Because for those writers that have been writing for a while, right? Usually that's what determines whether you stay, go, pivot, take a pause. So what threw you for a loop this year?
I think just the needs of our businesses
Hmm.
really, we are trying to go to Arizona part-time for our mental health break. And we just didn't get to do that as much this year because,
Hmm.
we stepped out, but then had to step back in. And I'm going to have a little bit more of a role. And I've always had a role, but it's shifted over time. So I was working more this summer, and I wasn't able, in my mind, to dedicate as much to my writing.
Hmm.
But that's how it is. I mean, having these businesses is the only reason I'm able to fund my
Right.
writing, you
Hmm.
know?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I have to do what I have to do there. But
Right.
yeah, that was a pivot we weren't expecting, but at least we're in Arizona now and we have to do it because I think if my husband and I are just near the businesses at all times, we'll just work ourselves forever. Like, you can't stop thinking about the business going in. And we
especially
have
when
a
you're
lot
there. You've put
when you're
distance
there.
between it. Yeah.
Yeah, here we can let go a little bit and let the people we've put in place manage things because we have a lot of great managers, but it just was, there's a lot of highs and lows in retail that you don't see coming. And you can have
Mm,
the best people on earth, but you still there's all kinds of things that can happen when you're a business owner. I mean, we were at dinner the other night, exhausted, and we get a call and they're like, "Oh, yeah, the building's on fire. Could you guys
that
come
was crazy.
over?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" One of our buildings, someone was putting out a cigarette in this guardrail that went up to the upper lofts. And this one of the buildings we own, sidebar, is it used to be a brothel. It's a very old building from the 1900s. And the old pine railing hasn't been changed since the 1900s. So it's pretty dry and brittle. And
Yeah.
someone put a cigarette out in it and started a fire. So, I mean, as much as I'd love to just escape into my writing career and be a writer full time, those little things pop up and they take you away from all of that. So, I still publish my book. There's always that moment, right? Where you're like, can I do this anymore? You know? Just a
Yeah.
little, it's like this big. But sometimes it's like, maybe I'm not supposed to be writing right now because there's so much taking me away from it. And
Yeah.
that may be happening, but I had to claw my way back to say, no, this is important too. And I'm going to dedicate time and brain power to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you? What threw you for a loop? I mean, it couldn't have been, I mean, you
Well,
had
actually,
a big move and it's working out, but it was a big change.
yeah, the move was a big change, but what threw me for a loop was I'm one of those people, I plan. And so I was like, okay, this is going to happen in January, the first part of the year. This is going to happen over the summer. I had plans to release additional books. And then I'm going to do my holiday matchmaker series. And I went to Superstars and had a pitch session. And for something I thought I had this idea for a rom-com, for something I thought was just kind of an exercise, not
Hmm.
in futility, but an exercise for myself in pitching and just seeing if there was interest in this particular novel. I was shocked when I was requested for a full, including a full
Yeah.
series outline.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is not in my plan. So I was quite clear up front that I didn't have it ready. But the individual was so nice and great. And they were like, okay, how about end of summer? And I was like, yeah, that should work because I should be moved by then. It gives me, and I was just kind of calculating in my head, it gives me like these 3 months to write, the edit kind of thing, and I will get it to you and it'll give me time. Well, selling a house, putting it all
Yeah.
together, staging it, and getting
Yeah.
all, we were also decluttering as much as we could. So we were downsizing significantly. And just all those things just were a killer. And the other piece to that I learned really quickly was writing short comes very natural to me.
Hmm.
Very natural because I skinny draft all
Right.
stories. That's just kind of how I work when I'm quilting it all together. And so going from really strong, fast, fulfilling a need in short for me, myself creatively, and then going to a novel, I had to shift my expectations as well as my skill set. And I started writing novels. So it was just kind of weird that
Mhm.
when I started, I was like, oh, this is going too fast. This isn't quite how I need this to, breathe and do these certain things. And it was tougher and it took me longer to draft it than I anticipated. And so, yeah, none of that went to plan. And so I didn't get it to them until September, and I was like, "I'm just gonna pretend September's still summer." And
Right.
what was so great, though, was when they got it, they were, like, so excited that I followed through on my
Yeah.
commitment, and so, yeah, we'll see what happens with it. It's going to acquisitions, we'll see, but yeah, I was like, I felt really great about it. And now I have like this IP in hand. If it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere, but I can still do stuff with it and I love it. So, yeah, that totally threw me for a loop because I
In a
wasn't
good loop,
a
but
good loop, but I had to
you had to
scramble
problem
and
solve.
pivot
Yeah, you
quickly.
had to
And I
really like,
think,
okay.
yeah, and I think having people around you to kind of help push you through too was really helpful. Credit to my friend here, Angela, because there are times when you were like, I was like, what am I doing? Like, should
Mhm.
I just stop and, go back to my other plan and just finish out those 3 stories? Because I already had one of the books written. Um, and I gotta write the other 2 for next year because I just ended up moving it to next summer. But I was just kind of like, what am I doing? So I didn't really have my strategy well thought out, and it was still developing over the summer too. So, yeah, I mean, you could crumble and just not delivered, but I was just like, I can't be that person. I'm gonna
Yeah.
deliver it. I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. Yeah, that always kind of that would give me a swift kick in the ass to
Mhm.
get anything done. If I like commit, then I'm committing. But it was like, I have this opportunity. It's like, you need to go for this opportunity. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, still reflecting, what's the couple things that just author business wise that
Mm.
surprised you? That you're like, wow, that's new and interesting. And I learned that, What's
Yeah.
a couple things?
Um, for me, I think it was the audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I hadn't really dove into audiobooks. I did my own audiobook for Writer Fuel as a coach. My daughter played around with magic for me, my young adult fantasy. So I'm not like hired out and worked with a production company before for audiobooks. And I just yeah, that was such a big learning experience, and it's been so rewarding. I think that's part of the addiction of audiobooks for me because my husband's a big audiobook listener anyway. I like audiobooks too. I do both. And so when I had the opportunity and they just turned out so great and like
Mm-hmm.
recently, the holiday Hearts and Wraps came out, and I was just, like, kind of blown away by it, but most recently, I have ARCs right now going out for Midnight Kiss Countdown. This
Mm,
book for me is I don't know that it'll be a bestseller or anything like that, but
right.
it's more emotional because it's about a married couple separated. And it's a second chance romance. I cried on my own
Oh,
book listening to them act it out. Like, it was so perfect. Like, this vulnerability of the male, the female holding her boundaries and just being exhausted. I don't know. I felt a lot of that. I've been in that particular situation with me and my husband. We've had those moments ourselves. And I just kind of, I don't know. It was like, this was so great. And I'm like addicted to this now.
right.
Um, it's not selling like hotcakes because they're shorts, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping to manage a couple of ideas around that to get them kind of boosted. But they're getting put up for various awards, the
Yeah.
accolades and things. So I feel like, I don't know, I learned a lot about the whole process and I'm kind of sucked into it.
Yeah.
I'm really
No,
enjoying it.
that's great. That's
What about
awesome.
you? What
Um,
surprised you?
I think how I could write a romance. I never thought I could write romance.
And that
And I
floors
like it.
me.
Yeah. I never read romance because my definition of romance was from like the 90s, Danielle Steele. I read like one of
Harlequin.
those and I was like, ugh. Sorry, I don't like Nicholas Sparks. Sorry. Now, he's obviously very talented and it's not that. It's just not the kind of I
Yeah.
never saw the movie The Notebook and people are like, "What?"
I know
I
that's
d-
kind of like, I don't know.
I
It's
know.
a heart wrencher though.
I know. And see, I want just fun,
Yeah.
escapey, I love 2 Weeks Notice with Sandra Bullock and Hugh
Yeah.
Grant. Just fun and like,
Quirky,
I don't know, quirky.
very
Um,
character driven.
yeah, I love those kind of
Yeah.
romance. I'm not into like super mushy romance. So I was always like action adventure sci-fi and I just never thought that I could write one. And then when I published one, I never thought people would like it. And they do. And that's really cool.
Yeah,
Because this last one, No Climb Too High, is getting really good
it
reviews.
is.
And that just like, wow, it's just validating. I'm sure there'll be someone who doesn't like it, and that's okay. But it's validation that I can keep doing this, because I was going to put a
Yeah.
couple out and just see. But I also miss writing the adventures. I miss
Mm.
writing my superhero sci fi because there's just such a different. I enjoy writing sex scenes, but I like writing like fight scenes, you know?
Do both.
So, yeah. So
There
I'm
you go.
like, yeah, romantic suspense.
Yeah.
The other thing that surprised me is just the level of spam that
Oh
doubles.
gosh.
Like I put out this new book and now I'm getting spam on that book. So every book now is getting spam emails and all these scammy invites to book clubs that don't exist. And
Yeah.
it's just
What
like,
is with the
really?
book clubs that don't exist? It's
It's so
crazy
weird.
town. I don't
Well, and
understand it.
did you know? Actually, I got an email from Lee Child the other day, and
Oh, I
he
got
really
one
wants
from
to
Anna Hong.
connect with. Yeah. Well, Lee really wants to connect with me, Cassie. He's really interested in my author journey,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
I looked at the email and I
wow.
was like, okay, first of all, doubtful. And it was like Anna Hong 177 at I was like,
Yeah.
uh-uh. No, I don't
No.
think so.
Oh, and did you know that Jennifer Lawrence, the actress, actually works for Apple Studios and wants to acquire my book for a movie? I
Wow.
mean, I feel like why hang out with you peasants anymore? Like, I've
Yeah,
made it
right.
big time.
It's sad. It's sad
It's
how those
sad,
people prey on creative
right?
types like that. It's
Well,
actually
because those
horrific.
are the emails you really wish were coming to you. Obviously, I know Lee Child isn't emailing a random author, but
Yeah.
it's sad. And then it just like fills in your inbox like crazy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I mean, I checked my email. I was like, had 20 emails. Half of them were spam. And I'm like, this is just the new annoyance. It was spam calls, spam texts,
Yeah.
now these spam emails. And that just surprised me because you get a couple and now
Mhm.
it's daily. And I'm like, where do we get help for this? Because come on, Gmail, you can't filter these? Like what?
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just more about being careful, protecting your work, protecting your career, and not falling for those things for sure. But it's sad because what if you do get a legitimate one?
I know.
Just don't believe it.
I think I thought I had a legitimate one,
Mhm.
and so I emailed back and I was like, "Can you give me more detail of what it would require of me and my time?" And the response I got back, was mostly about contributing money, and I was like,
Right.
no, we're done."
Yeah.
And then they won't stop, so I had to block them.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, we're done. I'm not
Yeah.
putting money toward that. That's not part of my budget goal." So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, it gets tenacious too. So, I get
Right.
to a point where I just start blocking people. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I do
And
too. Um,
I'm sorry guys, I don't trust the gmail.com unless I know you personally. It's
yeah.
gotta be like a
Sad.
real email. And
Yeah.
even then, you have to really do your due diligence because people
Yeah.
can throw up a website
Oh, I know.
and
No.
do the email.
And
Yeah,
you can't reply to any of them either because then
they
that
gotcha.
hooks you
Yeah,
into these other databases. So just delete it. Sorry. Show it off on your social media and get a good laugh. But other than that, like just delete all that stuff. While we're on the subject of tips, though, can you give our listeners like your top 5 tips of the year? Ooh,
oh gosh, I'm
what are
prepared.
some
Top 5.
off
tips of the
the
year.
cuff, or just, if we were doing this live in front of an audience, which maybe we will be,
We kind of
the
are.
Author Next Door tour, hello, Author Next Door tour live will be selling out stadiums, whatever. But if we were sitting on a couch on a stage, like, what would you be telling listeners, like authors in that sophomore year, feeling the pain and joy and highs
Oh,
and lows?
yeah. I think I would say number one, if you have the desire to pivot and try something new, do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Do it. Listen to your gut. Like, I think for me, learning, you know, there have always been shorts and novellas, but I wanted to try this 2-hour thing, which isn't really there's not a huge market for it, but I was like, "I'm gonna just flood the you're gonna be sick of hearing of me." Like, that's kind of where my head is at in building my little space. So, it's interesting because then all of a sudden I'm seeing more and more and more, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I found something. So, I think trust your inner tuition. If you
Mhm.
want to pivot, pivot. I'd say number two, it kind of goes along with it. Don't be afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
Like, I was a little nervous about doing a podcast because I had done one before, and
Yes.
it was well put together to a certain extent, but it kind of broke apart and left me hanging, and then it got tumultuous later, and it was just kinda like, "What the hell is going on?" So I was nervous
Right.
about that because we had a nice friendship that's been building for a couple years, and I was just like, "What happens if this goes down the toilet?" Like, kind of thing. So, like, I was
Right.
nervous. So I think sometimes you just have to jump in the deep end. Like,
Mhm.
try the new thing would be number
Mhm.
2. Number 3, give yourself grace is another thing because things will happen. For me, it happened this past winter that I needed to do things this summer, and then we're moving and things happen. Give yourself grace.
Mhm.
Everything is very Marie Forleo, figure outable, and you can
Yes.
pivot and move things around. It is your business. Nobody dictates what you do but you. So give yourself grace. Um, let's see. Number 4 is probably, I would say, show up for yourself
Mhm.
because everybody else's problems will always be more important than your own.
Yeah.
For especially for women, I think that's in our nature. So remember to show up for you. And
Yeah.
I think that's just a really good one overall.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And then the 5th one, I'm gonna say make sure and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's joy like, when you make it a job to me, a job is not, like, the happy word. When it becomes a job, it's no longer happy fun. So, for me, it's gotta be fun, or why the heck am I doing it?
Right.
So, because it's not my job. You know,
Exactly.
and maybe one day it will be, and I'll have to, like, separate that in my head, and I've heard that's an issue for a lot of people that go full-time. But, yeah, have fun. Be my
Yeah.
last What about you in
Exactly.
the top 5?
I think the number one is let it go. As
Mm.
far as we all get stage fright when we're ready to hit the publish button, right?
Oh, yeah.
Little bit.
A little bit.
Especially when it's your first or second or even my third. It's
Yeah.
always a little daunting to, like, actually hit publish and think, "Is this finished? Am I really done with this?" But what
Yeah.
I've learned is you've gotta let it go and put it out there and get feedback, and especially if you do your own layout and formatting like I do in Vellum. I know there's Atticus for, PC users, Vellum is for Mac, but I've learned that I can, if there's typos and if
Yeah.
I find things that are wrong, I can change it myself instantly and upload a new draft. And yes, I
Yeah.
mean, I learned the hard way by putting my trust in other people to do those things for me. And now I have over 100 copies of First Strike and Seconds to Oblivion that have riddled with typos and errors, and I don't know what to do with those books, and I'm going to have to donate them or recycle them. But
Yeah.
but you know what? I rolled that into the cost of goods or cost of production, and it's okay. Now I do my own formatting. I learned a painful lesson, and now I can do it. What I realized is, yes, I have put out the romance had typos in it
Right.
and things that weren't quite right. And people bought those
Every
copies
book
and they
does.
still left me
Like,
good reviews. It's never going to be perfect. If you're sitting there spinning your wheels, like, oh, maybe I should look at this some more. Maybe I should think about this part some more. If you've had eyes on it, maybe you've had some alpha readers, maybe you've had some
yeah.
beta readers, maybe you have had someone edit it for you. If you've gotten it out and gotten different eyes on it, then if you feel like it's time, let it go, right?
Yeah.
I would say if you've been the only one to ever look at it, well, maybe you do need one or two sets of eyes just to give you some
Yeah.
feedback on the things you can't see. But otherwise, press publish, get it out, get feedback on it, and then if
Move
something's
on.
in there, make
Yeah.
changes and keep going.
Yeah.
Right? That was a really long number one. Number two is you can do this. If this is your dream to be an author, I think you and I are living proof that you can do this, even despite having to pivot, highs and lows.
Yeah.
And if you love it, there are rewards at the end. There's a
Yeah.
lot of joy in seeing people read your book and
Yeah.
really loving it. So you can do this. It's just how you make that time and effort. I think number three is always write or be rare, kind of what I started talking about in the beginning.
Mm.
Read that fine print. Becca Syme says this, and I absolutely agree with her now because I used to rush and press that purchase button.
Mm.
Sit on it for 24 hours. If it's a major purchase, take a step back from your computer, go do something else, go for a walk, sleep on it for 24 hours, really think about it, think about some pros and cons. And then if you're still feeling good about it, go ahead. If there's still
Right.
some questions after that moment, those moments where you pause, then maybe it's not the right thing for you. I've signed up for so many things I didn't need, you know? And that leads me into, I think I'm on number four. Like, I've taken so many classes. Keep signing up for these webinars and these groups, and I have to tell myself this, but like right now I know enough. Okay. I don't need to keep signing up for things because
Yeah.
like I need to honor what I already know. I keep thinking that I'm still not good enough, but I'm like, actually, I do know quite a bit. And I need to honor that a little bit more. So if there's a listener out there thinking like, oh, if only I had this class and this class and this class,
Right.
do you really need that? Or do you probably know enough, right?
Yeah.
Especially to get started.
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess number five would just be uh take a break, take a breather. Don't be so hard on yourself, like you were saying.
Yeah.
There's gonna be typos, there's gonna be times when you put out a post out there and no one likes it, and there's all
Or you've
kinds of things.
misspelled on your
You
posts.
missed you know what? Hey, I say that proves I'm like, you know what? I want typos in my books because that proves that AI didn't write my book, right? There's typos in it.
Oh.
A human, me, had their
I
hands
know.
in
I
it,
have too
right?
many errors and I do so many idioms across books that it'd be like,
Right.
really?
So that just shows you
Yeah.
that I
I
actually
know.
wrote it because there's so many typos. I think
Are we going to
just
come to that day?
I think so.
I think it's ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah. If it's perfect, well, maybe a robot wrote it, okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Mm.
just I have to tell this to myself too, but don't be so hard on yourself. It's a lot of work and it takes a lot to put a book out there. And if you actually ready to publish a book, you are way ahead of so many people who just don't pass through those gates. And
Yeah.
if you're waiting to pass through, just go. We're here for you on the other side,
And if
right?
it's your second or third book you're struggling with, been there, done that. We're here on the
Yep.
other side too. And
Yep.
they're different skills. It really tests you and your fortitude.
Mhm.
Once you've done one and you keep going, it's a test.
Yeah.
It really
And it
is.
gets easier. I feel
A
like this
groove.
fourth book was the best one I've written yet. I still can improve and learn, but I feel like, okay, I kind of know what to do now.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I think for those of you listening, first of all, thank you for listening. We can't do this without you. Um, yeah, hopefully those takeaways will help you as you think about going into the next year. Um,
agreed. Agreed.
yeah.
So
So,
I'm gonna wrap us up.
yeah.
Um, and do a personal update. So,
Okay.
with our personal update, was there anything you're reading or watching or doing that you want to
Oh,
talk about?
I'm always like your window to Threads, right? Because I'm obsessed with Threads.
That's true.
So,
You are.
this is why. Oh my god. I mean, this is the power of the internet, right? So, I saw there was a trending like category just called Megan, okay? And then Finding Megan. Hello, if you're listening, if you know about Megan. So
I know nothing.
anyway, all right. So there was this woman, I'm going to get some of these details muddled, but the basic thing is this woman was waiting in a bar at Denver International Airport, my airport, which if y'all haven't been there, it's
Yeah.
super weird and crazy, but go there at least once. But anyway, she was waiting and this man, ginger with a beard, that's how we were identifying him, was ragging on his girlfriend, Megan,
Oh.
because she fell at Trader Joe's and broke her ankle. And this jerkhole was actually
Oh
bitching
no.
about her because she wasn't cooking or getting her laundry done for him and all this stuff. Like calling her names, being horrible to Megan. So this woman takes to Threads and said, "We've got to find Megan because her boyfriend is such a jerk and she deserves
And
better."
save her.
They found her.
Oh my God.
Hello? And also, don't even try it, everyone, because I'm already writing a story, a romance based on this concept. Okay. So don't even try to steal my idea. But I was like, the power, first of all,
Crazy.
it's the power of women who have dated the man like this and wished someone was there in
Who
the
stepped in.
void to step in. And
Yeah.
I think that's where it came from. So all this, I mean, it was 2 days Megan was trending and people were like, "Have you found her?" So the lady did find her. Megan saw the threads, reached out and just said, "I have a lot of decisions to make." And we're like, "We're here for you, Megan. If you're out there, maybe someone who knows her is listening to this podcast." But I think that's how women supporting women, like that's really at the
Yeah.
basis of this.
I love
Like
that.
that's what was so like heartwarming to me. Now, obviously, we don't want to like it got shut down because we want Megan to have her privacy, but like we helped someone. What if we saved someone from marrying a jerk? And that's really as women.
Or even something more abusive and nefarious,
Yes. Yes.
you
Oh my
know, because
gosh. Yeah.
yeah.
You never know. It could have been a Dateline episode with Megan, but she's safe and sound and
Oh my
hopefully happy.
gosh.
We wish you the best, Megan. And that's the power of threads. Okay, go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, mine's gonna sound I don't know how mine's gonna sound, but I have been a Stranger Things person
Hmm.
since the very beginning.
Yes.
The last season of the show is coming out, and one of the things I'm loving about the Duffer Brothers, right, who wrote this series, is that they've always had the end in mind. I really hate series that wrap up horribly and it's just a cop out, and there's so many of them. So I was
Mhm.
like, this is going somewhere, because it's not always about the money. For me as an artist, I want the
Right.
story. I want that full circle story. So I am so pumped. Day after Thanksgiving, I am on that couch, ready to go. I am speeding through these episodes, me and my husband. We are, I mean, it's starting slow as they always do, and they build, and it's such nostalgia in the 80s, and just
Mhm.
we're very into it. And I can't handle all the gore half the time, so I'm like this a lot of the time, but which for those listening, my hands over my face. So we're getting to the climactic part. I am just juiced, so juiced. It was epic. It was wonderful. And then it goes, I'm ready for the next one. Like, I'm ready to Netflix binge and do the whole thing. Sorry, coming
Oh
out in
God.
December, I lost my mind.
It's
I was
terrible.
like, because I was like,
Such
yeah,
torture.
like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, click, let's go to the next episode. I'm sorry. That's happening the day after Christmas. And oh, by the way, not all of them. There'll be another one in January.
Oh
I am
my gosh.
losing my mind. My husband was like, how did you not know this, Miss I'm a fan? And I'm like, do you want a divorce? Like, I'm just like,
I mean,
don't test me
everything
right
was
now.
on the line, apparently.
Oh my
Wow.
God. It was so epic and so like perfect. And now, of course, and I had stayed away from social media because I did not want this to ruin my
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
And then, of course, now it's all the theories and all the chit chat. And I'm seeing like a lot of connections to like Harry Potter and all these other things and Dungeons and Dragons, which it's always had that connection.
Right. Yeah,
And these different
exactly.
things. And I'm just kind of like, this kind of ruins it for me because as a writer, I can totally see where the story is going.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm a little like, I hope they surprise me. Like, I really hope they do in some crazy epic way or twist it and then get back on track. Because right now, I'm not going to be as pumped up because they had me
Right.
and then they just, yeah. So
I
I'm a
don't know why
little
they didn't ask
peeved.
you, because it's rude,
So
frankly.
rude. So rude. And if they kill certain characters, I will lose my mind.
Okay, let's not even manifest that.
Yeah, we're
Destroy
not.
that
We're
thought.
not. We're
Mm.
not. But it was pretty epic. For those of you that saw Will, like, was it not the most epic? Yes, it was. Okay. So with that, let's go to our hot seat question.
Well, because my tails are in Colorado, here's the hot seat.
Okay.
All right, well, what's your ultimate Christmas wish list item? If you're writing Santa,
Oh
what do you want?
gosh.
Ultimate.
My ultimate wish list if I was writing Santa, it's gonna
Or
sound
what did you tell Butch to get you?
oh okay. So actually, we're pretty like lazy about this stuff because like I just buy what I want and then he buys what he wants. So I didn't really ask for anything because lately anything I buy, he's like, what's leaving? Because our house is so small and we have such limited things.
Yeah.
It's kind of how we have to
Yeah.
operate and think. It's like, okay, if that's coming in, what is going out? Like we just
Right.
don't have the space for that. So, yeah, for me, I would just love just more out time, like out of this house time
Mhm.
kind of thing. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I kind of want to like figure out our next steps too, but I don't want to rush into that either. So, yeah, for me, I think it's just those quiet, like relax moments is kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I know. So I'm
No, I'm
so
just
boring.
kidding.
I'm so
No,
boring.
I
Like,
see your
okay, so
boringness and raise you. I want the
well, he's
Tinaco
talking about joining the
wet,
rec center.
dry mop. Oh my gosh. I
That's
want
where we're at. Like, we're just like, yeah, I don't know. We're, when you like get to a certain age and like you don't want all the knickknacks anymore, you're
Oh,
just
I
kind of,
don't. Gosh, I'm getting rid of so much of that stuff. I'm like, I don't want anything.
I
I don't want
know.
anything I have to dust. That's how
Yeah.
boring I am. I'm like, if I
Yeah.
have to
So
dust
we're
it,
just
I
kind
see
of
it in
at
a
that
store and I'm
point.
like, I have to
Yeah.
dust that. It's out. Like
Yeah.
I've said that to store like associates and they're like, what about this? And I'm like, nope, it's going to get too dusty.
Yeah.
And just like,
Yeah. It's
I
kind of
really,
where we are. Yeah.
I really want a wet dry that I think it's Tinico or Tinico wet dry S Pro 7 wet dry mop. Oh my gosh, it self cleans itself. I know. This is how boring I am. So I'm
That's all right.
saying,
I want a garbage disposal.
wow, you really deserve it. We're worth it.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
worth it. Except I
You
have a
know what?
septic system. So
Oh yeah, you can't.
I'd
Yeah,
have to get
no.
this one specific one. Yeah, it's not happening.
Mm-mm.
So
No. I lived, yeah,
yeah.
I had a septic system my whole life. In the mountains, we won't go back there. But anyway, hey,
Yeah.
I hope your dreams come true. And all of you out there
Yeah.
listening who want the wet, dry vacuum mop.
Sounds kind of
Anyway,
awesome. I may have to check that out.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Well, thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to give us a review and rating wherever you listen to the podcast. It really helps us with visibility. Next week, we're talking with inspirational life coach Jody Blinko for a very special episode 50.
That's
50.
crazy.
Amazing. Keep writing, keep doing.
We'll
Bye.
see ya.
Thanks for joining today's episode of The Author Next Door. Be sure to like, follow, and tell us your thoughts of this week's episode. Angela and Cassie would love to hear from you.